Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And today we're going to talk a lot about gaming news. There is a lot that has taken place in the last couple of days that you need to hear about. So, grab yourself your favorite beverage and strap yourself in. Let's go. To start off with, I did not do a video yesterday. It was May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And, of course, I got to wear my Star Wars stuff in honor of that. Was very busy yesterday. I didn't get to do a video, so that's that. I did, for those of you that do follow me on Facebook, and thank you for doing that, I did upload a picture that I'm going to put here for you. That picture is, of course, of me and Peter Mayhew, who plays Chewbacca, and that was taken, I think, a couple years ago at Comic-Con. And as you can see, Mr. Mayhew is seated. That's because he was waiting on his surgery that he needed for his legs. So he was actually in a wheelchair at that point, and he has since had his surgeries, and he walks with a cane now. But at that time, of course, he had to take the picture seated. I'm glad that he was able to get his surgeries, and now he can be mobile. And I always thought that was weird because he had to do a Kickstarter. He did a Kickstarter to generate the revenue to be able to pay for his surgeries. And I always thought that was strange because I would have thought that maybe somebody, I don't know, somebody wealthy, you know, that he might know, that perhaps he may help make a quadzillion dollars for, with the Star Wars franchise. Maybe Mr. Lucas would have written the check to just take care of his surgeries for him. I would bet that the spare change in his couch cushions on his yacht would have covered Mr. Mayhew's surgeries. But that's, you know, that's just a whole nother topic, I suppose. Anyway, so today's gaming news. We got a couple of biggies. Number one, there was a kind of a cryptic link that was put out last night that went to a website that was kind of scrambled, but it had a countdown on it, and it had the briefcase man from Half-Life in the video there a little bit, and so everybody was not sure if it was going to be an announcement for Half-Life 3 or if it was for Black Mesa. And so for those of you that don't know, Black Mesa was a mod that was made, a Half-Life mod, basically using the source engine that some people put a lot of time, a lot of effort into to do the mod and everything. But what this was for, because if you go to that website now, and I will put the link below, it will take you, and there's actually a video now introducing the Black Mesa game. And it's actually for the standalone Black Mesa game. And basically they've redone the original Half-Life, and they call it Black Mesa, and there's a lot of changes and so forth, and they basically were making the announcement that it's now on Steam. It's an early access game. It's $19.99, and it comes along with all the caveats of an early access game. But you can go to Steam, you can check it out, you can check out the website in the link below that I put for you, and see what you think about it. There was a little bit of hubbub about, you know, oh, well, it was supposed to be a free mod, blah, blah, blah. There's a difference. There was the mods that they produced, but this is actually a standalone game, an entire game of its own. So that's where the confusion lied. So anyway, you might want to go check that out. I do not usually buy, you know, early access games and that kind of stuff. And I try not to pre-order or anything because I don't like to get burned. This one may be an exception. I haven't decided yet, so let me know what you guys think. The next thing, the website and service known as G.O.G, Good Old Games. If you're not familiar with it, this is the service. It's a website that you go to, and it's kind of like Steam. They have all of these older titles They do have some brand new titles too. They do get exclusive deals with some newer titles. And their big thing on GOG is everything is DRM free, digital rights management free. There's none of that where you've got to have the disc in, or none of that where you've got to go to a third-party website and log in to be able to play the game. There's none of that. That is their big selling point. DRM free. Every one of their games on their site is DRM free. The older ones and the newer ones. So, but the announcement was that they're in beta for what they're calling Galaxy. And it sounds like Galaxy for GOG is going to be like Steam, the app, Steam app. You're going to be able to have all your library of games on there. You're going to be able to interact with other players. You're going to be able to upload things and share and all those types of things. There's going to be achievements. It's going to be very much like the Steam experience, except for GOG. And there are a lot of titles that you can only get on GOG. There's a lot of them that you can't get on Steam. So there is an advantage to having both. And right now, you can apply to be in the beta. I did. And I'm going to put a little splash screen here for you so you can see what it looks like. And you can apply to be in the beta, and I guess they're doing it in waves. You know, they're sending out invites in waves. So I'm anxious to see what that's going to be all about, because I do have a lot of titles. I know there's a shocker, right? The Vintage Gamer has a lot of old games on GOG. But anyway, I have a lot of titles, and it'd be nice to be able to have them in a library and have groups and a friends list on GOG and be able to group and have achievements and all those things there, as well as Steam. So it sounds like they're trying to maybe not 100% compete, but they want to do the same type of thing. I'm sure that's going to help broaden their audience, their base, for people that are going to be interested in buying games from them. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, the last thing that I need to talk to you guys about. A couple of days ago, I did a vlog where I talked about Evermore Park. And I gave the history about it, that it was going to be this adventure park, and there was going to be, live action role playing, everybody was going to be in costume and in character at all times, blah, blah, blah. And that it just kind of faded away, and that the website was no longer working, and so forth and so on. Since that I released that video, they have made an announcement that they have, in fact, sadly, they have ditched that idea of doing the adventure park. However, they said that in its place, they're going to be building these things called the Void. And they're going to be interactive, I don't even know what the right term is going to be for it, but they're going to be interactive centers. And basically what it's going to be is you're going to go in there, and it's going to be virtual reality. You're going to wear the VR, and whether it's Oculus or whatever, or maybe it's their own, I don't know. But you're going to have armor, you're going to have simulated weapons, and all that. There's a video, and I'm going to put a link below for you guys. I urge you to check out the video. It looks really, really cool. But you're going to have weapons. I saw some where they had, rifles, and then they had other ones where people were holding swords. And it's going to be what they're calling 4D, because it's going to be virtual reality. You're going to have the virtual reality device on, so you're going to be seeing in 3D and everything. In addition, they're going to do things atmospherically, like they're going to have simulated cobwebs. So as you're walking through, it's going to be like a maze. You're actually in the center, and you're going to be walking in VR, but you're actually physically going to be walking. And there's going to be things hanging down that are going to simulate like cobwebs. And it shows a guy in the video, and he's pushing. He's like pushing these things aside, and in the VR, he's seeing cobwebs, and as he's pushing them, they're going aside. So and then there's going to be things like steam that's going to shoot out in certain areas. Where you're seeing steam on the VR, and there's actually going to be steam jets that are going to spray out and so forth. So, and I'm sure I'm not giving it justice in its description, so I urge you to go and watch the video for yourself. Now, having said all of that about Evermore Park and the Void, we've been burned once. We all got excited about Evermore Park, at least I did, and I know some of my friends who also were very excited about it. And then it just kind of got shit-canned. So I'm purposefully not going to get too excited about this Void idea until I see that it's going to be a reality. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I don't want to put myself in that situation. And hopefully I'm wrong. I want it to be really cool. I want to be able to go through in virtual reality with a sword or like a rogue or whatever. And oh yeah, man, are you kidding? In a heartbeat. But I just don't want to get my hopes up and then get burned again. So, in any case, that was the gaming news I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sorry I didn't do a video for May the 4th, but, you know, things happen. So, anyway, cheers, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side.